Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert RIZZO as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
It's Tuesday Night Live, 10 p.m. on Parrot TV and YouTube and other social media platforms. It's Sports with Rich. Hello, everyone. Welcome once again. We're live here on Parrot TV, and we want you to follow. We have a loaded hour of sports talk, and later on in the hour, HOWIE KARPIN, an esteemed colleague of mine for a long time. We'll be talking a little baseball and concentrate on the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs and the beginning of that all tonight, in particular center on the New York Rangers back in the Stanley Cup for after 5 years. So we have a stacked program. We invite you to participate in the cube, ask a question, as well as give us a call on the hotline. That'll be posted, 347-398-2926. 347-398-2926. Fact of the week. And this week, I am going to give away a Boston Red Sox World Series pin from the year 2018 when they won it. If you get the fact of the week, I have it. Good evening, and let me bring in my esteemed co-host, the Wiz, Robert RIZZO. Hey, Rob.
Hey, everyone. How's everyone going?
How was your week, my friend?
It was great. A lot of baseball, a lot of hockey, a lot of basketball, a bunch of stuff. So I'm ready to talk about it.
Of course, to get us on our social media platforms as well. We'll give that to you later, but I'm at Ring76 on Twitter, Facebook.com, Rich MANCUSO, and the Wiz has this crazy Twitter name. What is it again?
Drizzy Riz.
I don't know what the heck he did with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it got. So anyway, it is catchy, but for me, no. Old school Rich, no. Anyway, let's open it up and let's talk baseball, and let's get right away to the New York Mets, Yankees out of here in New York and all over. We're a national worldwide show. We're not just going to focus on the two local teams, Wiz, that are doing real well and have a shot, maybe a Subway Series in New York if this keeps up. But the Mets were a big part of the attention this week in Major League Baseball. And in particular, Friday night I was there. The complete game combined no-hitter, which is very rare in baseball. That's only the 19th one that's ever been done combined. And we take a look at this image, and we take a look. That's a video of the no-hitter. There they are. Seth Lugo on the far left, and, of course, Edwin Diaz towards the right, who closed it out and got the save. And ignore that guy in the video with the bald head. I was there, and you could see I was a part of the press conference. My bald head, why show me? Come on.
You got to blame SNY.
No, you know what I'm going to do from now on? Here we go. That'll get rid of the bald head, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't complain, it's a Met cap. But that bald head, it annoys me. Anyway, back to more important matters, because this was a gem by the Mets pitching staff out of the bullpen. Wiz, the Mets bullpen has been doing the job. Those guys in particular. Edwin Diaz picked up his save number 5 in the first game of a doubleheader sweep over the Braves tonight.
Yeah, he was pumped after the save. The Mets got 2 wins tonight against the Braves, doubleheader like you said. It was a team effort. Carlos Carrasco in Game 2, Starling Marte in Game 1. Pete Alonso homered in Game 1. So it's been a team effort, and we talked before, Buck Showalter getting suspended. That's huge news. He got suspended around 5:30.
Yeah,
for a 7-10 game. That's ridiculous by MLB.
We're going to talk about that now. That was a center of attention last night at the ballpark. Like 45 minutes before the game, Showalter gets a suspension and made this comment. They're aiming at us. We're not aiming at them. He made a comment like that, which I thought was really, really a comment for the ages. Coming from Buck, you could expect that. But he kept, and the Mets without Showalter twice already in this first month of the season have lost their games. So they do miss him in the dugout. He is a big difference how this Mets team is so approachable. They're so much better at the plate with their at-bats. They steal. They get the 2-out hits, as we've been saying here on the program. And that's Buck Showalter. But the center of all of this is about a brawl that took place in St. Louis. The Mets have been hit 20 times as a team, which leads Major League Baseball. And it continues to be an issue, and the Mets have brought that up for an attention. Let's take a look at what happened in St. Louis last week. And this is uncalled for. I don't like any of this happening in baseball where we should be playing ball and not having a brawl. But let's face it, Wiz, the Mets have had enough of this.
Yeah, for sure. They've been getting thrown at almost every game. I think they're in on the plate a lot. They should step out a little, but we've been talking about the grip on the baseball. All the players are complaining about it. Coaches were complaining about it when we were there at Citi Field on Friday. So it's just
interesting point, yeah. And you know what? You were there with me. You were there with me. When was it? Friday night. Friday, right, during the day. And before the game, the Phillies in town on the field, we talked to Phillies coach Bobby Meacham, who's a longtime friend of mine. We talked about this issue, and he did say what I've been always saying is that, yeah, you're pitching him inside, you're bound to get hit. And the Mets do crowd the plate, as we discussed. Meacham also brought up the case about the sticky substance maybe not still being an issue, that the pitchers are losing control of a baseball that has been different. They're using different baseballs every game. And baseballs they used last year and the year before. And that's having a different feel and the grip of these pitches on the mound. Plus, you got the cold weather that has a factor in it. In addition, Meacham made this good point, Wiz, you heard it. Pitchers at a young age have learned to throw hard and inside. And it's showing now on the major league level. And it's more showing that with the Mets, for some reason, keep getting hit by close pitches. I don't think it has anything to do with the Mets being a team that's getting targeted because they're off to this great start. Yeah,
me either. It's just they're batting in too close to the plate. And also, like we said, the sticky substances. A lot of young teams they're versing, Diamondbacks, Nationals. So all these teams are developing their young players, 22-year-olds, 24-year-olds. They got to get used to the ball.
It is, Rob. It's an issue that Major League Baseball must address, especially here in New York with this Mets team that's off to this great start. I mean, Lindor's been hit close, and then Alonso, and you name it. Even J.D. Davis on the foot the other night. And it's going to have an impact sooner or later. MLB does not want to see this. This is the last thing you want to see as a fan, but it's continuing to be an issue, and I hope Major League Baseball cracks down on this, whether it be the baseball or something else. We want your thoughts on this. Give us a call on the hotline, 347-398-29 what is my number, Rob? 347-398-2926, and in the cube we'll answer it for you. More Mets discussion about Robinson Cano yesterday being designated for assignment. I don't disagree with it. Mets had a crowded infield. Cano, 39 years of age, just not producing. Gives more room to play Dom Smith in the outfield and also DH or first base. More room for Guillaume, and we saw that again today in the doubleheader tonight. More room for J.D. Davis to get some starts. Cano wasn't producing. Like him and not, very, very likable with the Mets and in the clubhouse. But Robinson Cano, 39 years of age, is going to get his pay. He's going to get his $40 million this year and next, unless the team picks him up. And I'm sure Robinson Cano is going to end up with another team sooner or later.
Yeah, me too. I think past Mets regimes in the Wilpons, they would just let him play out the season because it's too much money to buy him out. The Cohen, on the other hand, he doesn't care about the money. He'll just spend the $40 million. So it's no big deal for Cohen.
No big deal, but Cano is no longer in New York Met, and I'm not crying about it. I love the guy. Of course, he was suspended all last year with second suspension for illegal substance abuse, Major League Baseball anti-drug and steroid policies. But now he can go on elsewhere. He might hook up with another team as a DH. We wish him the best of luck. Carlos Carrasco tonight pulled another gem. Two or fewer runs in his 4 of his last 5 starts. He's off to a 3-0 start based off his last start that was poor. Carrasco, big reason why the Mets have one of the top ERAs in baseball.
Yeah, for sure. Carrasco's been top tier. What the Mets need out of him because DeGrom's hurt. Bunch of guys in and out of the rotation.
And before
Carrasco's a
we
huge
turn,
plug-in.
yeah, and of course, we're going to look at the Yankees now.
Yeah.
That's not Carrasco, and that's Clayton Kershaw. We're going to talk about him in a moment.
Yeah, Garrett Cole.
Pete Alonso, opposite field home run, continues to drive in runs to the Mets, and going the opposite field, showing his power. He did that tonight. So the Mets sweep the Braves. They're winning their division games, too. They didn't do that last year. They're getting 2-out hits. They didn't do that last year. And this Yankee team in New York also now with the best record in baseball on their way to their 11th straight win up in Toronto with the Blue Jays. And talk about what's going on with this team, pitching. Their bullpen always going out there and throwing scoreless baseball. And Garrett Cole seems to be Cole again. His ERA and the Yankee defense as well, not giving up runs, Wiz.
Yeah, Cole's been lights out. His last 2 starts, he hasn't given up any runs, 12.2 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts in those 2 games started for them. 11-game winning streak if they win tonight, like you said. They're first in Major League Baseball in home runs, second in RBIs. You would think of the Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, but these guys are putting the ball in play, contact hitting, stealing the bases. They're doing what baseball wants, make it more fun.
Good point. And the bullpen and their pitching has propelled them to this best record in baseball. I, for one, doubted that the Yankees had this. True, we're only in the beginning of May, a long way to go. But I think we're seeing something that may be a special season for these New York Yankees. We talk about the Mets, but the Yankees are right now, they're kings of baseball the way they're going. They can't seem to lose.
Yeah, huge contributions from Josh Donaldson, Gleyber Torres, everyone in between, Jose Trevino.
Aaron Judge hit another home run tonight.
Everyone knows Judge and Rizzo, but all the
Stanton
guys,
too again. Stan seems to have his back going again.
Up.
And the bottom of their order, including Gleyber Torres and Fiafa. What's his name?
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Yeah. That turned out to be a good trade. Yankee fans were knocking it. Look at how he's shored up the defense in the infield for this team over Gio Urshela. And look at the contribution now of Gleyber Torres. Then the bottom of the order is coming through. The top of the order and the bottom of the order and the pitching, not giving up and not causing any errors, and the Yankees are where they are. So we'll keep updated on the Yankees, and we'll tell you the final at the recap at the bottom of the hour with the Wiz. He'll have that scoreboard for you. We shift over to Clayton Kershaw. We showed you a brief shot of him a little while ago. Clayton Kershaw is why the Dodgers are top of their division in the NL West in early May, surpassed Don Sutton as the all-time strikeout leader in Dodgers baseball history. What about that, Wiz?
Yeah, that's very impressive. I've been watching Kershaw since maybe 10 years old. I've been watching him my whole life. I was there for the NLDS in 2015. He shut out the Mets. So this guy's been everywhere from 2010 on. 2,697 strikeouts, and you can add more throughout this season for Kershaw for sure.
It certainly doesn't show his age of 37 years old with a bad arm issue last year. And you're getting the same type of output from Justin Verlander. Verlander also a veteran pitcher in his late 30s, and he's having so far an all-star type of season and no arm issues to show of it. So I like to see the old guys doing well. Wiz, you young guys ain't taking over that quick, are you?
No, not yet.
And how about this? We both saw this graphic on FS1 over the weekend, the Mets and the Phillies game, and this graphic came up about the Mets, Yankees, Angels, and Dodgers. 2 East Coast teams out of New York, 2 West Coast teams out of California, leading their respective divisions in baseball for the first time with the history of all 4 of these teams. In particular, the Yankees, Dodgers, and the Yankees and Dodgers, and the Mets and the Angels, and who knows, Freeway World. Wouldn't that be something? It comes down in October, and you have a freeway type of NL championship, AL championship series, and a World Series, maybe Mets Yankees. Well, we got a lot of time to go, Wiz, but I would not rule it out if this keeps up. If everyone stays injury free and everybody plays to this capability they're playing now, I'm not ruling it out. and I don't bet. I'm not a gambler. You know that. But right now, so far, so good, my friend, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's very impressive. But I can go down the list with all these guys.
There it is. There's a graph that came up. That really got. It's the first time in Major League Baseball history we've seen something like that. Yeah,
very impressive. I can go down the list and go all day about players on each team, but I'm not going to do that. But it's a hell of a start. It's only 20 games, 25 games, but they got to keep it going month by month. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Well, the key with the Angels is Mike Trout. He's Mike Trout again, leading the AL in on-base percentage and slugging. The Dodgers is their pitching, not so much their lineup. The Mets are getting contributions from everyone up and down and the pitching. And as we said, the Yankees getting it all done. They're leading baseball in home runs. The Braves are next, or the Braves are above. I think the Yankees surpassed them tonight. And the Yankees are getting that great bullpen pitching and starting pitching. And guys that were injured last year that had a lot to do with their off year are healthy. And if they keep this up, those 4 teams are going to be players in October. Hey, Wiz, you know this. We both talk this a lot. Amazon and Apple TV and what's going on with MLB, and fans are so disgusted with it. We are as well. At Friday nights, whatever. Apple TV, I'm old school. I don't know how to log on to these things. Fans of baseball, they're not all young. It's the same thing. So if you have a cable subscription to the S Network or any of the regional networks in baseball that put a lot of money into the game and respective teams, you're getting shut out in your cable subscription because Prime Video, Apple, whatever, they're all taking over, and that's the future. I'm the Wiz. That's going to be the future.
Yeah, it's going to be the future. The only positive is the camera angles. It's like you're at the game for real. But the broadcast, it's amateur at best.
Very, very. That too. All right, so you fans have every right to complain. Give us a call, 347-398-2926. That's the hotline phone number here. Sports with Rich, Parrot TV Live on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe, especially with Sports with Rich, as well as keeping in touch through our social media channels. We'll do that again a little later. NBA time. Let's talk briefly about the NBA, Wiz, and let's take a look what's going on in the NBA playoffs that continue tonight. Bucks Celtics. Take a look at Jason Tatum.
Yeah, the Celtics tied up the series 1-1 tonight. They were out without Marcus Smart with a quad injury. He got hurt in game 1. The biggest thing with the Celtics is their defense in the paint guarding Bobby Portis and obviously Giannis. But they're going to have to step up in the paint with Robert Williams, Daniel Tice, obviously Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Tatum and Brown scored 29 or more points tonight. I believe Jaylen Brown was 30, Jason Tatum 29. So those two have to combine for at least 60 points per game to upset the Milwaukee Bucks and the defending champions.
They are. And John Morant of the Grizzlies had a great playoff series against the Phoenix Suns. Young superstar in the NBA can only get better.
Yeah, the headline with Warriors Grizzlies is Steph versus Ja. It's nothing else. You have so many stars, future stars also on the court versus Hall of Famers.
Oh, I meant to say Grizzlies. Memphis is the one. The Suns knocked Minnesota around.
But
whatever, the Suns are in there. I'm going to talk about them. Go ahead.
Yeah, with the Warriors, you have 3 perennial Hall of Famers, Draymond, Curry, and Clay, versus Jaren Jackson, Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, a great young team. So it should make good entertainment for the NBA playoffs in the second round.
Now we could look at the Suns and the Mavs series. The Suns got off to a good game 1 start last night. Devin Booker back in action. He's healthy again with the hamstring, and I'm looking for big things from this young man. The Suns and the Mavs. I look for the Suns with the best team record in the NBA from wire to wire this season to take on the Mavericks. Tough series, but I think they're gonna prevail in this one. Game 1 last night showed a combined team effort, and again, I keep saying it, Chris Paul is a major part of this, a healthy Chris Paul, and there you go, a healthy Booker, Devin Booker.
Yeah, Suns are up 1-0, but you gotta watch out for Luka Doncic. He will drop 50 points on any team, any night. It doesn't matter. And the loss last night, he had 45, 12, and 8. He's only 21 years old, 22 years old. This guy has it all.
He does, and he could only get better and better. A Wiz, these are the Phoenix Suns, a team that I root for. They're not my team because I never say that, but I do have a rooting interest in them, and I really think they're going to go to the NBA Finals. But last year they did the same thing, and they pooped out, and they disappointed everyone.
Can't forget to mention Jason Kidd versus Monty Williams as the hell.
Yeah, what's the difference, Wiz, with the Suns this year from last year? What do you think?
I think it's the playoff experience. They're more built as a team together. They're ready for the battles day by day, and I feel like they're having fun together compared to last year.
I see that as well. The games that I've watched in between everything else that goes on in my life every day. How about the NFL draft? Let's switch gears to the NFL. I thought not as suspenseful as last year's draft with the quarterbacks, but a very interesting draft again in the NFL. And Scott Engel, our buddy, had most of it, his picks, as he said last week. But get this, the first five draft in the draft, the first five were draft picks, first round draft picks for the first time since 1991, if I made sense saying that.
Wow.
Did I, Wiz? Did I?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
There were 9 trades, the most since 2010 in the first round. 9 offensive linemen were the first 32 picks. No running backs picked in the first round. And also, we didn't see the quarterback array that we did last year. But here, let's go over some of these picks real quick. Let's look at Sauce Gardner. The Jets picked up. The Jets won this draft, no doubt. What do you like about Gardner and the pick the Jets made there, Wiz?
Yeah, he's got everything on defense. He's a 6'3" cornerback, 200 pounds, obviously out of Cincinnati. 3 years first-team conference defense, AAC. He was 2021 the conference defensive player of the year. This guy has it all, and he has the swag aspect. You need that in New York. The Jets are missing that.
And they got it. They won the draft. I say they won it easily. A lot of teams did well, picked up the needs they needed. Even the Giants here in the New York area. I called them the Jersey Giants. They don't play in New York. Neither do the Jets. But I like this pick for the Jets. I think the Jets are in the right direction. More so now, you can see that the Jets, through their draft, are helping their quarterback finally. They're finally getting their quarterback the guys he needs. Again, let's see how it develops, but they had a very good draft. Aiden Hutchinson, Michigan pick. Hutchinson was one of the top picks in the first round. And let's take a look at Aiden Hutchinson again out of Michigan. And how did you see Hutchinson's role now, where he went and all that?
I think Detroit got a good one. They've been on the small end of things for the past 10, 15 years, Detroit, but they picked up a guy that can lead the franchise into success. Aiden Hutchinson did everything at Michigan. He led in a bunch of categories. He is like the second pick, but he's a good fit for Dan Campbell in his second year as head coach with the Detroit Lions.
He's a guy that I watched and playing over at Michigan, and you know what I like about him? His agility, and he covers all. You can't get by him. He's all over the place.
He reminds me like a T.J. Watt kind of.
Yeah, very good, Wiz. Doing your homework there. You might be the next Scott Engel fantasy football guy. You're so good with that, my friend. And this guy, Clayton, help me on his name. Everyone knows I'm horrible with names.
Kenny Pickett.
No, the one before that. Clayton, we'll talk about Pickett. We can keep that. But Clayton Thorax.
Kayvon Thibodeau?
Yeah, Thibodeau. Yeah. I called him Thorax. The hell's a Thorax?
He was the 5th overall pick out of Oregon. And exactly what the Giants need. Their defense has been lacking the past couple of years.
Yeah, the Giants did well in the draft as well with defense. Yeah. They needed that.
They got Thibodeau, and then with the 7th overall pick, they got Evan Neal, arguably the best offensive lineman in the whole draft out of Alabama.
So they studied. They did. In fact, the Giants yesterday released two of their main scouting personnel, two guys that are involved with the talent that goes for the future with this team, what they're going to put together. They want to get rid of the old and bring in the new, just like a lot of teams do when they change general managers, coaches, and so forth. And it showed in the draft. These draft picks the Giants made came with the old regime as of yesterday. But then after that, they did their job. They told them, go home, you're done. We don't need you no more. Sports could be a nasty business. That's what it is. It could be on all ends, even in the media, as you know. Now we go to Kenny Pickett, one of the few quarterbacks in this draft this year, stays home in Pittsburgh with the Steelers. They've got their future. Is he going to be as good as Ben Roethlisberger? I don't know. That remains to be determined, but a good pick he was. What do you like about him, Wiz?
I like everything about him. He was a 4-year starter. I believe he played 52 total games at Pitt and averaged over 12,000 passing yards. No average quarterback's doing that at University of Pitt in the ACC conference against Clemson, a bunch of top-tier defenses across NCAA football. And Kenny Pickett, he kind of got it all. It just depends on who they fill in around him, wide receivers, running backs. They have Najee Harris. So they have guys. It's just a matter of the 2 to 3 year window of development.
And I always say, you got a good quarterback, you're going to win. You got a good defense, you're going to win. You got some offense a little bit there, especially on the out, the wide receivers and your running back. I mean, most of all, the quarterback and the defense, you're going to win. We've seen that with Tampa Bay a couple of years ago with, when they won Brady, and you saw it with the Patriots for years. Now up in the New York area, the Giants and Jets do it, and maybe the Arizona Cardinals will get that together. Talk about the Arizona Cardinals. This came down yesterday, and you know how I feel about this with Deontay Hopkins, 6-game suspension, violating the NFL PED drug policies. That was a shocker, Wiz.
Yeah, that was a shocker. I believe the Cardinals picked up Marquise Brown knowing the Hopkins suspension was coming last week.
Good point. Yeah. They might have saw that coming because Hopkins a major part of their offense and the Cardinals will be at him for 6 games. Though he can participate in spring practices and his addition in the preseason, but he cannot play the first 6 games that count. And it's going to hurt the Cardinals offense a bit. They were counting on him, and I don't know. We're going to see where this heads. But again, when a player's going to learn, you're going to get caught. You're going to eventually get caught. And he did, though he denies it, but it came up in a drug test.
Yeah, all these tests, they know what's going to come out of it. So if you just tell them as it is, once you know the results, it's better off because it's just in the PRs and the media's hands at this point.
We want to know what you think. 347-398-2926 is the hotline, as well as get us in the cube with a question. If you do, it's a Sports with Rich on Parrot TV, live on YouTube. Sports with Rich, like, comment, and subscribe. Now, the favorite part of the program, okay? And I like doing this. You all know how I like doing this. Last week, we gave you a fact of the week. The week before, this is week number 3. Let's see if you get this one. Hey, Wiz, listen carefully. You remember, last week there was a complete game in Major League Baseball. They're very rare these days. Pitchers very rarely go past 7-8 innings now and go to the bullpens. Well, it was the Dodgers, Walter Buehler, doing a 3-hit complete shutout against the Diamondbacks. And the fact of the week question is this. You ready, Wiz?
Yep.
There are 2,430 games, 2,430 regular season Major League games. Right? How many complete games were there last year in Major League Baseball? Out of 2,430 regular season games last year, how many complete games last year in Major League Baseball? Now, if you get the answer, you're not getting this, but if anyone else does, you will get this World Series pin, 2018 World Champion Boston Red Sox. So just let us know if you have the answer here on Parrot TV Live Sports with Rich, with the Wiz, Rob, and Rizzo. We're live here every night, 10 p.m. on Parrot TV and YouTube. Sports with Rich. More to come. Howie KARPIN coming up. Talk about the Rangers and the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, plus some baseball. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Hey, sports fans. New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys. Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert RIZZO as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice.
Welcome back, Sports with Rich, YouTube Live, Parrot TV. Like, comment, and subscribe. Live Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. I'm Rich MANCUSO. That's the Wiz, Robert RIZZO. Wiz, let's get a quick sports update before we bring Howie KARPIN in, and I do some keeping in the ring because I see Howie hasn't logged in yet to talk Stanley Cup hockey and some baseball. Quick, what's the update on the scoreboard right now, Wiz?
Yeah, the Mets won 2 doubleheaders today. So they won 2. Yankees 11-game winning streak. The
Wait,
Celtics,
they won 1 doubleheader, not 2.
Well, yeah, 2 games. Okay, so
Right.
Yankees 11-game winning streak. Celtics tied 1-1 in the series with the Bucks, and Golden State, Memphis is going on right now. I believe Warriors are up by 3, 39-36.
Okay, we got some late Major League games on the slate now, more NBA tonight, and the Stanley Cup playoffs. And before we leave tonight, you'll give us an update. I'm sure people are watching that. Hope they're watching us as well. We are going to go now, not to that. We've done that. We're going to go to some Keep It in the Ring before Howie KARPIN comes on live, a colleague of mine from almost 40 years. Let's do some Keep It in the Ring. Go with some boxing and some pro wrestling. Wiz, you can interject if you want, or just listen, because I know your Keep It in the Ring skills are still not there yet.
I'm getting there slowly.
Yeah, yes, you are. Yes, you are. 347-398-2926, the hotline. Call us live or get us in the queue. Let's get to some Keep It in the Ring. Let's get to it right away, real quick. If we can look at Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Velez, ESPN this past Saturday night, the titles unified there by Shakur Stevenson, who might now go to 135 or 140. At 135, he could test Devin Haney, who is got a part of that lightweight championship in the WBC, or he can go to 140 with Gervonta Davis, a fight I'd love to see. And that Davis and Romero are fighting for the 140 championship, Barclays Center in Brooklyn, at the end of the month on Showtime pay-per-view. But Shakur Stevenson, to me, moved up more and more with his skills as being probably in talk of the picture as a top pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, maybe next to Canelo Alvarez. Oscar Velez just did not give him the fight and did not give us the fight we expected. That goes to show you, and Velez is very talented. It goes to show you how good Shakur Stevenson is. His athleticism, his footwork, his power, everything. So Shakur Stevenson moves on. We wait for his next move. However, and there's always a however in boxing, Wiz. There always is. There was a post-fight press conference. There always was, seen on YouTube and Top Rank, all of their social media channels. And Shakur's talking about the win, and all of a sudden, take a look at this. I don't know if we can run that. Watch this.
What you think?
Now, just watch this. We can get this going before Howie KARPIN moves in. He talks.
Oh, wow.
Answers the question, drops his titles that he didn't have at the beginning, and he complained about that, and jumped off the stage at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And Bob Arum, who's half asleep over there, the 90-year-old promoter, Hall of Fame promoter, God bless him. I love Bob, but sometimes it looks like he's half asleep or ready to whatever. He's asking what happened. The press conference abruptly turned off. Shakur Stevenson, we later find out, and my sources out there are the colleagues in the business I work with in boxing, and we all know now what happened. He found out and went to rescue his mother, who wasn't allowed to go into the press conference, and it caused a major ruckus outside and developed into a brawl that I don't want to show you, because it's not something I want to advocate and show you. I'm tired of this nonsense with after a fight, a major promotion, not only with Top Rank, but with all of them, Too many things go on during these press conferences before fights, at the weigh-ins, and as we saw this weekend afterwards, and Shakur Stevenson just jumped off the platform, never got to answer all the questions, and here we go. Wiz, it doesn't belong in the sport.
No, it doesn't. We've been to those type of press conferences before, and they're so compact and tight. I can't imagine people running through and bombarding people. It would be a totally different scene. It would be very hectic, and I can't imagine the night at the Garden after that.
It is something that I do not understand and never will. I'd rather just hear the fighters talk about what they did. The entourages should stay outside. Hopefully no more of this, whether it's more security or what. I don't know what it takes, but it has to end, and the promoters have to crack down on this. That's for sure. Now, another fight at the Garden sold out. History Saturday night. Over 19,000 fans get to see Katie Taylor from Ireland, Amanda Serrano, Puerto Rico, out of Brooklyn, and now Katie Taylor pulls it off, a controversial decision, but she is now the undisputed female lightweight champion. Talk about a rematch? Yeah, where it will be. Two female fighters who put female boxing on the map. Congratulations. It's sold. Female boxing has finally arrived, Wiz, and I hand it to them. Congratulations to them. All right, so we switch gears to this weekend, and we look at Canelo Alvarez, the king. He is boxing's pound for pound best, and to me, the face of boxing. And Canelo Alvarez will take another step this Saturday night on the Zone pay-per-view. Demetrius Bivol is his opponent, going up in weight at 175. He's going to have a tough fight because Bivol is tough, can take punches to the body that Canelo likes to throw. Demetrius Bivol, I've seen him fight live and in person. He's going to give Canelo Alvarez a fight, and I don't know which way this will go. But if Canelo should lose, it doesn't mean he's done, because he'll go back to his championships at 168, which he'll hopefully defend in a rematch, the trilogy with Triple G Gennady Golovkin. So boxing strong. It is boxing season, and we'll have an update on Canelo Alvarez here on the program next week. That is the big fight. WWE, let's keep it in the ring with some quick pro wrestling as we wait for Howie Karpin to log on. And here we look at Drew McIntyre, WWE champion. What's going on here? WWE Backlash this Sunday. Supposedly, he got into the picture because he's going to eventually face Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed title. They don't have people lined up. They can't find opponents for Roman Reigns. It was supposed to be an undisputed tag team championship in the WWE Sunday. It's supposed to be the Usos against RK Bro, Riddle, and Matt Riddle. They changed it without anybody saying anything. So now it's a six-man tag, and McIntyre is going to be in part of the six-man tag and facing Roman Reigns down the line. AEW is coming into the New York area next week, where I will be. CM Punk is, to me, right now, the face of their promotion, and CM Punk is the guy that the veteran. CM Punk, a part of AEW's rise. Their ratings still not where they want it to be on Wednesday and Friday night on their television platforms, but CM Punk is the face of AEW. I hopefully will be talking to him the next few days, and we'll post my interview with CM Punk. Wiz, he looks a little bit like you, a little bit with the beard.
Yeah, I need those tattoos, though, just to match.
Can you wrestle like him, though? That's what we want to know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a shout out to Anthony Perfetti. He said the Rangers got to get it together 10 minutes ago. They're in overtime right now. I believe a penalty shootout, actually. So
anybody else? Well, that's why Howie Karpin hasn't logged in yet.
And also, we have it jotted down. Robert Press guessed 50 complete games in the 2001 Major League Baseball season. So
I hope Robert is right. I don't think it'll be 50, but thank you, Robert, for contributing. Did anybody get the fact of the week yet? No, with the complete games. I don't know if you'll get how many of them were there, how many last year were the complete games in MLB. Get the answer, and you'll have this World Series pin 2018 Boston Red Sox. It's yours if you get me the right answer by the top of the hour. Now, obviously, Howie Carpin's not with us. And, is he there?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, Howie, welcome. I missed you, my friend. That's because I'm too big on the screen. Are you there, Howie?
Oh, it's
That's Howie Carpin. Howie? Howie, do you hear us? Howie, unmute. You might be on mute.
oh,
We're having a problem with Howie, but that's Howie Carpin. He writes for NewYorkSportsDay.com. He does hockey. He writes about the Rangers a lot. There he is. Howie, do you hear us?
I think he hears us. We don't hear him.
I don't hear him, and I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know. Howie, why don't you do this? If you hear us, we don't hear you. Can you maybe unmute if you're maybe muted, or just log off and log back on, and we'll hold the fort till you come back on. Why don't you do that? I think that's the best way to do it. We haven't had a problem with guests on the program yet, Wiz, so I don't know what happened there. But Howie is an esteemed colleague of mine, almost 40 years. Not only does he cover baseball and hockey, he also does official scoring for Major League Baseball. Howie, do you hear us? I don't hear him. We're not getting him. Back in the studio at Parrot TV, is there a way we could find out what's going on with Howie's connection? That I don't understand. We're having a technical problem, folks. Bear with us. Let's do this. Howie, log on, log off. Log on again. Let's take another quick break and try and iron this out. Sports with Rich with the Wiz, Robert Rizzo. Back after this. We'll be right back. Sorry about the technical issue with Howie. Let's see if we can get this going. Come back with us.
Hey, sports fans. New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys. Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity. Are you curious about financial literacy? Then take a look at Professor Anthony Rivecchio's new program on Parrot TV. It's called Financial Focus University. This is an excellent program to learn about questions related to your own finances post-COVID, and how you can manage your money, how you can work with your tax situation. And this is an excellent and informative discussion of financial literacy. With Professor Anthony Rivecchio, your financial problems will be solved at Parrot TV with Financial Focus University.
Tell him to use his phone. Tell him to use his phone.
All right, we're trying to get Howie Carpin online with us. Howie, if you hear us, try and log on with your phone. Howie, do you hear us? I don't know, and I'm sorry. I hope we can get Howie to connect. I'm going to ask him on a text to log on with his phone. I don't know why we have the problem, but that's technical. These are issues that happen when you're doing a live show. Howie, bear with us. I just text you. You hear me? We hear you. Try and get us on the phone. And we'll see what we can get you, at least for 10 minutes. I want to talk about this Ranger series with the Penguins and some of the other Stanley Cup matchups, as well as a little baseball knowledge, because I know you're a baseball guy as well as I am. So try logging on your phone, and maybe we can get this hooked up. In the meantime, Wiz, as we wait for Howie Carpin, hopefully, what did you see so far in this Ranger game tonight? You were monitoring that better than I did.
Back in the playoffs since 2017, I believe, 5 years for the Rangers. building a great foundation. First-year head coach, Gallant, I believe. And their main guys are Panarin, Fox, Lindgren, Shesterkin, the goalie.
All right.
And with the Penguins, everyone knows them. Sidney
All
Crosby.
right. I think we have Howie. I think we do. Howie, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's go.
All right, Howie, Howie Karpin covers the NHL and the Rangers for NewYorkSportsDay.com. Let's talk briefly about these Rangers tonight. What do you think of Game 1? You've been watching that. What is your opinion on that?
Well, we're going into a second overtime, and it's been quite a thrilling night. An amazing game. Pittsburgh has 56 shots on goal. Shesterkin's made 53 saves. Without Shesterkin, they're not even in this game. And the Pittsburgh goaltenders played very well. Casey DeSmith, he's not even their starter. And if the Rangers came out being very physical in the first period, had a tremendous first period, and then they took a 2-0 lead, but the Penguins chipped back. And in the second and third, they've overtaken the play. They've gotten the Rangers back on the heels a little bit. You know, Ryan Lindgren, one of their key defensemen, went out for a little while, but he came back. You know, and it seems like Pittsburgh's got the ice tilted. They've had most of the chances in overtime. And there's also been a controversial play in the third period with a little over 3 minutes left. The Rangers appeared to take a 4-3 lead, but the goal was waved off for goalie interference. Capo Caco skated in on net. Looked like he was pushed into the goalie by the Pittsburgh defenseman, but the Penguins, the puck came loose and Filipino put it in an open net. The Penguins challenged the call, and it was surprisingly overturned. It did not look like goaltender interference. Looked like the defenseman pushed Caco into the goalie, which is not goalie interference by the rules. So the goal was waved off, and now we're in a second overtime at the Garden.
Well, isn't that what Stanley Cup hockey's all about? Yeah. Overtime. I love it.
Yeah, but if you're a fan and your team loses, it's like a punch in the gut. It's it's risk and reward for a fan. I've been at many of these in my time, and I'm watching the Rangers 58 years, so I've seen a lot of these over my time. You just hope it ends your way. That's all.
Yeah, a question I have for you is, throughout the years, you see the replay system, they implement it. What do you think with the playoff atmosphere? The replay took about like 5 minutes. What do you think about that playoff atmosphere, having to wait with all the fans and stuff?
Well, you want to get it right. I mean, that's a big moment in the game. You know, look, if the Rangers lose, there's going to be a lot of complaining about that call. It's a very controversial call, but by the rule book, it appeared that they shouldn't have overturned it, but they did. You got to take your time on that, because that would have decided the game with a little over 3 minutes left. Yeah, sometimes these reviews take time. Sometimes you don't understand what they're seeing, unlike what you're seeing. So, that's the way it goes with these replays in every sport. Baseball, too, it takes a long time on certain calls when you think it should be done within like 30 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Baseball, you see it all the time. You stated the physical aspect of the hockey, and I was watching yesterday all 4 games, and there were a lot of unnecessary hits, a lot of calls that shouldn't have been called. What are your thoughts on the refs making an impact so early in the playoffs? Well,
they don't want things to get out of hand. Emotions are very high, especially when you start a playoff series. I mean, hockey's a very emotional sport, like football and basketball, where sometimes the emotions can get the better of you. So a lot of times it depends on the officiating crew. Some of these crews haven't worked a lot of playoff games. They get some guidelines from the front office as to how they want the games called. They don't want any of these nasty incidents, especially with the games being on national TV. They're trying to sell the product. They've gotten a lot of the fighting out of the game, so they don't really want any nasty incidents. So sometimes you have to rein it in. But to be honest with you, tonight in the Ranger game, the officiating has been very shaky. I mean, they missed an icing call on the Penguins when it should have been an icing, and then the faceoff was in the Ranger zone. I mean, there's a couple of, Rangers got away with a couple, Penguins got away with a couple that could have been called. And the Penguins have a reputation with Sidney Crosby of being favored in the calls, whether that's believable or not. it certainly seems that way at times, to where the Penguins get the benefit of the calls when Crosby's on the ice. So it depends really on the officiating crew.
How far did the Rangers go in the Stanley Cup run? They seem to be they've had a season with how many wins did they have? 57, was it? Something like that?
52.
52. I gave them a few more, but they could get to that mark in this playoff run. Briefly, how far can they go in your opinion? You know the sport better than me. Give us an idea.
Well, the goalie can steal a lot of a series for you. You know, if they get past Pittsburgh, they're likely going to get Carolina. Carolina's very difficult. Right now, they're better than the Rangers, but the Rangers have an edge in goal, you know, with Shesterkin. So you have that hot goalie, you can ride him, you know, for a long while, like they did with Lundqvist in 2014. This team is capable of making a long run. They're also capable of being knocked off within a round or two. They're a young team. They lack experience. We're going to see, you know, how they grow up and if they raise their level of play in the postseason in order to win.
Howie KARPIN, my friend, he's writes for NewYorkSportsDay.com. A colleague of mine, almost 40 years, writes about hockey, baseball. Also an official scorer for Major League Baseball. We'll briefly just touch baseball real quick, just a quick opinion or two. How do you see the other series spanning out in the Stanley Cup first round? Predators, Avalanche, Stars, Flames, Capitals, and the Panthers right now. How do you see that? Howie, we still got you?
You may have went out. Audio issues.
Yeah, another audio. We're having some technical issues tonight. Is
we
it rain?
apologize about that.
I wanted to get Howie to talk more NHL. Howie, if you're still there, try logging on again. I can get you for another 4 or 5 minutes because we have to wrap up at the top of the hour here at Parrot TV Sports with Rich live on YouTube. Yeah,
he provided great insight for all of us.
Yeah, I wanted to get his take a little more on Howie. How do those other? I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on tonight. Somebody has it against me, I guess. Whatever. What is your take on briefly on the other first round series in the Stanley Cup right now? In the first round, how do you see them?
Well, Washington upset Florida tonight, and I thought Florida has a chance to go deep. Now they're down a game against the Capitals. I think Carolina is going to be, advance against Boston, and Tampa Bay and Toronto. That's going to be a tough series. I have a feeling this will be the Maple Leafs' time. I mean, Tampa Bay is going for 3 in a row. It's really difficult to win 3 straight Stanley Cups. You just don't get the same breaks all the time, and the Maple Leafs may be primed to make a run here. So, that's my best guess for the Eastern Conference.
Either way you look at it, the Stanley Cup, that's when I get into the NHL. I love it because especially when they go into like the sudden death and the overtimes. I mean, I've seen Stanley Cup playoff action. Wiz, I don't know if you remember, where you've seen 4 or 5 overtimes, and I don't know where these guys get the energy to stay on the ice that long and do what they do.
Yeah, that's 4 hours, 5 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, before I let you go, I need to get your take on a few baseball things, if you don't mind, real quick. The Yankees in this 11-game winning streak, Aaron Judge hitting home runs, the pitching, the defense. Is this team that good?
They're not as good as they're playing, but they're showing you they can be a good team. The pitching is legit. Right now, if their big guns produce, which is what's happening, they're going to win a lot of games. Judge is playing like an MVP. And if he wants that big money, he's going to have to play like an MVP. So we'll see. So far, they passed a big test here in Toronto. They've already taken the series. They're going to lose a game at some point, but you win a series in Toronto against your chief competitor, you got to be happy with that.
And when you win 11 in a row to start the season like this, you're definitely sending a message. You're sending a statement. On the other side, the Mets, we've been talking about it. How good is this team to keep this going all year?
I think they're very capable of doing it. And I think they can even do more toward the trade deadline when they see what they need. We're likely going to be a little in the bullpen as we move along. But this is a very good team. Their lineup is deep. They have depth at certain positions. Their pitching has been, terrific. And they have a great manager who knows how to run a ball club and run a game. He can steal a game for you. And don't underestimate that ability of Joe Walter.
No, they're 0-2 when he's not in the dugout. The medical thing he had, and then suspended unexpectedly yesterday. Anyway, one team not really doing well, and that's the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, they're just about out. I think they go home if they want.
Yeah,
they're rivaling they're rivaling the '88 Orioles, who went 1-21 to start the season. So that's a real mess there. It's a shame because they're a proud franchise. So,
and the Reds lost again tonight, 6-3.
There you go.
They've only got 3 wins as of May 3rd. All right, Howie, I wish we had more time. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I'm going to have you on again and again and again. You know that. Sports with Rich live here on Parrot TV via YouTube. I don't know what to say, my friend. We've been friends for 40 years. You're a wealth of knowledge, and you're always great on a program that I do.
Well, thank you. Thanks, guys. Good to be with you guys.
You can be reached. You write for NewYorkSportsDay.com. How do people reach you?
Yeah, my Twitter page, @Howie KARPIN. Right. @HowieKarpin on Twitter.
Where I get you a lot as well, and your insights are so good. That's why you've been in this business as long as I have. We'll see you at the ballpark.
Good talking with you.
Thank you, Howie.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the Stanley Cup action, Howie, and baseball. We'll be in touch with him. Wiz, a wealth of information as always, and we're going to wrap this up in a moment. Hotline 347-398-2926, Sports with Rich, Parrot TV. We're live here, Fact of the Week. No one's come with the answer yet. I'll give it to you either way. And if you can't get it, then I keep the Boston Red Sox World Series championship pin. Wiz, Robert Rizzo, and me, Rich MANCUSO, back to wrap it up on the other side after this. Stay with us.
Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
All right, the quick wrap-up right now. Rich MANCUSO, Sports with Rich, live on Parrot TV, YouTube, Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe. I need prescriptions. Right, Wiz? You don't need them, I do. 10 p.m. live every Tuesday night. I'll give you the answer to Fact of the Week. Let's quickly look. Kentucky Derby this weekend. I always like that first Saturday in May, and we'll see who what horse comes out try for another Triple Crown. NYCFC, MLS Soccer. I was there again on Sunday at Yankee Stadium, not at Citi Field. And NYCFC, we can look at this real quick graphic. They are scoring. They're very diverse with their scoring. It's not just one guy doing it for NYCFC. And Castellanos, their top scorer from last year, the Golden Boot Award winner, did not score again, but other guys are doing the job. Up next to them Sunday, Kansas City FC comes to town, this time Sunday night, or Saturday night, or Sunday night, whatever, at Citi Field. You can't keep track where they play. Citi Field was Yankee, Red Bull Arena. They're still a good soccer team, and scoring goals and making adjustments they are. All right, get the Fact of the Week. Nobody? All right. Wiz, one more time. Do you have the answer? How many complete games in Major League Baseball last year out of 2,430 games? Regular games, season games.
My guess is 20.
Your guess.
My guess is 23.
Close, but no cigar. 21. Yeah, well, you'll never get my Facts of the Week. Do your homework, you and everyone else. Maybe you'll get a Rich MANCUSO Fact of the Week next week. And that'll about do it. Next week, maybe we'll have an NYCFC star from here on the program, you can count on someone coming in as a guest live here on Parrot TV, Sports with Rich. I'm Rich MANCUSO. That's the whiz, Robert Rizzo. We both write for LatinoSports.com, NewYorkSportsDay.com. I write for other outlets as well. God, I've been at this so long, I don't remember where I am, what I do half the time. Also, reach me Twitter, Ring786, Facebook.com, Rich MANCUSO, among my social media outlets. And you, Wiz, where did it get you?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, Drizzy Riz. Follow me on Instagram, RRizzo4, and follow me on Facebook, Robert Rizzo. All my work is on Latino Sports and NY Sports Day.
Thanks for being with us. The fast hour as always, the Wiz. Let's get back to it. Another full week coming up. We'll be at the ballparks. I'll be at some soccer, some boxing stuff coming up. I hope you enjoyed the program. Sorry for the technical difficulties. And again, my thanks to Howie KARPIN. Always great to have him on the program. We'll surely get him again. This is Sports with Rich, live, Parrot TV. Thank them behind the scenes. Again, sorry for the technical issues. We'll get it right. This is only week number 3. We'll get it right before I turn into an old man next week, for sure. Give you an idea what my age is going to be. Thanks for being with us, Wiz. Thank you again, my friend.
Thank you for having me, always.
Thank you all. Until next week.
Hey, sports fans. New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys. Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV,